Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome indeed to Saturday night live. And it is nothing less than a sheer orgasmic joy to be here with you as we wave away Saturday and we welcome in Sunday, don't we, darlings? And we begin to anticipate, well, what lies ahead for us on a Sunday? Possibly a lie-in, possibly a lovely Sunday lunch, a trip out somewhere exciting. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what Sunday's got in store for you. For me, I will. Well, I'll tell you what I will be doing tomorrow, darlings. Sunday lunch live. Yeah, absolutely. I didn't do a video today. I didn't film a video today, so that tomorrow I haven't got to edit a video. Neither have I got to bugger about with cars. And that means that we're going to do Sunday lunch together, if you're up for it. Yeah, I will be live from 12 or 12:30, and I will be making Sunday lunch and possibly keeping you company as you make yours. And I'm rather looking forward to that, to be quite honest with you. Yes, indeed. We will get down and we will, quite frankly, get funky. So, now then, what are we going to talk about for the next hour? Well, goodness only knows. My mind is like a dropped hose. It can go from one place to another very quickly. It writhes and flurgles like a writhing, flurgling thing. And I know that flurgling isn't a word. It probably is in Finnish. I might have just said something terribly rude in Finnish. Um, uh, Perhaps it means buttock. And I that's a thought. Right, now you think about it, right? Now, nobody's we as human beings, we've got two of many things: feet, ears, moobs, right? And they are never absolutely identical, are they? And the same is true with buttocks. We've got two buttocks. Well, some of us have got 19. We've got an easterly and a westerly, and they will not be absolutely identical. There won't even be a perfect mirror image of each other. And yet, we don't differentiate between them, do we? We say my ear or my moob or my buttock. And when you are speaking with somebody, they would have literally no clue which buttock you were talking about, unless, of course, you clarified my most easterly buttock or my most westerly buttock. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? I also love languages like French, where everything has to have a sex. So, a table is masculine or feminine. Maybe we should do that with buttocks. I would be interested in your thoughts. Now, then, darlings, very, very shortly indeed. What else do I have to tell you? Oh, hang on, I've forgotten about all the preamble I do in these silly things. Hold on. Let me get these in place just in case, because one never knows, darlings. Should you feel the desire, my little tubes of smarties, you can send me a voice note on the community portable electric telephone. You can ask a question via the Hedgehog of Truth. You can sit in eager anticipation of me giving Sean's box a jolly good pounding. We'll just talk about whatever normal rubbish applies. Very shortly, darling. No, no, let me speak. Big noise here. Very shortly, very shortly, darlings, I will be having an eagerly anticipated and richly deserved, because we have been busy tonight, slurp of my wine. And then, darlings, I am going to dive into your comments as if I were diving in between the milky white thighs of Alanis Morissette at the age of about 31, when she'd kind of chilled out a bit, learned how to smile and that sort of thing, and she didn't seem so angry. She seemed very angry, didn't she, earlier on? Yeah, yes, but there we are. So that's what's going to happen tonight, darlings. And I hope that you can find a modicum of enjoyment in the torrent of and litany of nonsense that I'm about to inflict on you. Here we go. It all starts with a slurp of splosh. Cheers, your very good health. Bottoms up yours, and above all, please get stuffed. I might need a moment. Oh. 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 Thank you, mighty FSM, for your gift of the winegasm. Oh, somebody's telephoning me right in the middle of a winegasm. Well, I never did. Good evening, Mr. Parry.
Good evening, sir. How are you today, sir?
I'm very well. How are you?
Better now. I managed to nick my car back from the garage.
Oh, you've been in the garage again, have you? Oh dear.
My car was stuck for the garage for 2 weeks, and the fella kept putting us off. So today, me and my dad turned up, and he said the battery was flat, so we jump-started the car. I said, I'll sort them out on Monday, the money. And the car doesn't seem to be fixed, but I don't care now. I'm going somewhere else.
What's wrong with it?
The DPF light's come on again, but we had enough. We just used my spare keys and jump-started and drove off.
All right, fair enough.
We had enough time. He said, yesterday, I'll come and pick it up. And then he said, the battery's flat. And 2 times we went down today. In the end, we just gave up and used the spare keys.
All right. Give it a damn good thrash down the motorway for a couple of hours. See if that does the trick.
Yep.
Do you do long distances in it?
Not now. We haven't got the caravan now.
Because obviously you need it needs to reach a certain heat level for a certain length of time to sort itself out.
Yeah, I did a good run when I went to Port Madian.
How long ago was that?
That was about 5 weeks ago. With that.
Oh, recently then. Oh, there we are. Lunch today was?
Lunch today was sausage and bacon butty, and this evening meal was steak pie, chips, gravy and peas.
Oh, sounds good. And how have you been feeling today?
Not too bad, thank you. Now I managed to nick the car back.
Good, glad. That's a positive then.
Annoyed it's not right, but I don't care. I'll go somewhere else now.
Yeah, well, that's it. They don't sound like a terribly good garage, to be honest, if they've had it for 2 weeks and done sod all with it.
My brother's car's there.
There's what?
So my brother's car's in that garage, so it might be just a kick that he needs in the teeth to get his car fixed. If not, we'll do the same.
Yeah, how long's that one been there?
Brother, that's been there about 3 weeks, but my brother won't pay him. That's the difference. I'll pay me 80 quid and just say, right, even though he's done nothing. Because I want my spare keys back in there.
Right. Oh, bloody hell. Bloody hell. Yeah, well, that doesn't sound great, to be honest. That doesn't sound great.
It was weird. My cousin died, and I thought, when the EPF light came on, I thought, no, bit. And then I went, and the management light, and I thought, he seemed more professional. And he just seems to be Billy, what's his name? Billy Bullshitter. Put his sorry to swear, sir.
No, that's all right. You go ahead. Oh, I've made a little envelope. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, so how was it? Your car was parked away from the restaurant yesterday when you were coming home.
How what?
How was the Rover 600 was parked away from the restaurant?
Well, I had to move it to make room for a skip.
How was the bodge doing on the radiator?
Absolutely fine.
Not the radiator, the bottle. It's
holding coolant, no problem.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a good codge. I'll still change it on Monday, though.
You're better off, innit?
Yeah. It won't last forever, no doubt.
Won't it be cheaper for Broadstep Nigel doing a gearbox changing it to manual with the automatic box going on that car?
Wouldn't it be what?
Wouldn't it be cheaper doing an automatic changing to manual, or just trying to cheat it by changing the fluid? Sometimes the fluid works, doesn't it?
It wouldn't be as cheap as scrapping it.
Oh, is that what he's going to do?
Right, he's going to try and sell it to somebody who will hopefully take it on and repair it.
Hopefully, because it seemed a nice car.
It's all right. It's all right. It's needs bits and pieces on it as they always do. I think it's just.
I had a Skoda's repair. I had the light on, thinking I would just need a service on the automatic box. Went to the nearest garage, and he said that'll cost you £3,500. Go to the nearest garage and trade it in. He said, so we did.
Right, blimey.
So what did you have for your dinner in the end, sir?
I haven't had it yet. I have my dinner as a supper really late after the live stream.
But
it'll be the usual staff curry.
It's good. I noticed she couldn't do a video without having a top on.
Who's that?
The camper lady.
Oh, I haven't seen.
Carol Ann. And also, I noticed your mate Sean did a little dance in today's video.
Did he? I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, when he was putting the thing on his roof.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch any videos today. I've been busy doing this, that, and well, not the other. Chance would be a fine thing, but there we are. No, I will catch up on those in due course, no doubt.
Anyway, I was it's still starting okay. The sports car, did you change the battery?
Well, I started it once and it was fine. I mean, it's a brand new battery. It's a brand new battery, so that'll be fine for ages now.
Okie dokie. Have a good evening, sir.
You too, sir. Good to hear your voice.
All right, and I hope everybody's fine in the chat. Hope everybody's had a nice day.
I hope so too. We'll find out now, won't we?
Yeah, all right, no problem, sir. Goodbye, sir.
Bye-bye. The lovely Mr. Parry from Port Sunlight on the Wirral, which is, of course, the Leisure Peninsula. Oh. Right, first come off the rank tonight was Ian Hulley, who said, yes, it's a bit early, but let's face it, there's nothing else to do on a Saturday night, so I thought I may as well be in first place. Hasn't happened to me that often. Get ready for Saturday satire. Indeed. Steve Cold was next. Boaty, Hedgehog wants a Barbie doll for Christmas. He needs action, man. I see what you did there. Carol C says, hello, good community. Saturday night is for fighting. Oh, no, that was last night. How has your day been? A good question. I would like to know how your day has been. We all need to know what you've been eating. And how are you doing? Hey? How are you doing? Hiya, Boaty, says Barry Scrotter. At this rate, I'll be unconscious. Steve Cold says, Boaty's favourite Christmas song is Driving Home for live streams. It isn't. I do have an absolute favourite Christmas song. It's the only positive thing about Christmas is that I allow myself to listen to that over and over and over. It's not just my favourite Christmas song, it's one of my favourite songs, full stop. I adore it. And I haven't listened to it yet this year. I'm going to wait until the 1st of December. And then I'm just going to put it on a loop and listen to it over and over and over and over at an inadvisably high volume. My favourite is Run Run Rudolph, says Steve Cole, Chuck Berry, and a shout out to Steve. Well, I've got a Christmas album, darlings, that Mel made for me. It's made up of Christmas tracks from some of my favorite artists and disgusting, filthy, depraved Christmas songs. It's one of my favorite albums, and that gets played all in December as well. And Run Run Rudolph is on there, but Jimmy Buffett cover rather than the original Chuck Berry. Good evening, Hedgie and Boaty, says Peter P, and a jolly good evening to you. Did we say hello to Steve Colg? We may not have, so hello to you, sir. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is here and says hello, train spotters. Matron is here. Evening all, and hello again to the crew who were in Mustard's live tonight. Although Matron said hello again to the crew who was in Mustard's live tonight. And that is, of course, grammatically most incorrect. Crew is, by definition, plural. And therefore, was should have been were. Peter P is saying hello to all of the bogs above. Diddly do. Hubnut's looking for a Jeep, says Steve Cold. All right, there we are. I should get back to watching Mustard's other channel, says Paddy Scrutter. He hardly. Well, apparently he did a live stream tonight on there. He hasn't done anything with that channel for ages. Hey all from Nakedsville, says the M11, and that'll set some pulses racing. At the moment, Paddy Scrutter, at the moment, and for a long time now, I've been at odds with the world and not really happy. But then I'm not sure what I should do. Wasn't there a CD titled Comfortably Numb? Don't know if it was a CD or a single, but it was Pink Floyd, I think. Not that I'm in any way a fan, but I used to work with somebody that was, and he used to bang on about them all the time, which I found exceedingly boring. But I'm sorry to hear that you're at odds with the world and not really happy and haven't been for a while. That is that's an uncomfortable and less than pleasant position to be in, really. Have you begun to explore reasons why you're in that situation, either exploring on your own or with assistance of some nature, or have you just been enduring it and hoping things get better? I'm sure a lot of people do that. Good evening, lovely people, says the equally lovely Diane Sturdy. Hello to you, my lovely. Bad Books is with us, says good evening all. 69 Food. Ket joins us, addicted to live streams. Hi all. Well, you're not as addicted as me. I'm here every bloody night doing the Monday. Oh, goodness gracious me. And tomorrow you'll be getting 2, my lovelies. No fewer than 2. I'm looking forward to doing a Sunday lunch live. It's a different dynamic, isn't it? Laid back and fun. I don't have to be constrained. I don't have to sit. You've got no idea how difficult it is for me to. Well, I don't sit here all the time, do I? I'm up and down like a horse draws. I'm no good at sitting. I'm no good at being still. I'm like a perpetual motion machine. I need to be moving. I'm terrible. The only time I'm comfortable at staying still is when I'm in bed, and I'm not always still then. I really do find it very difficult. I don't know how people sit and watch television or sit in the cinema or, I say that. I sit in a car, don't I? And I don't mind that. I love driving, and I love driving long distances. I would love, if YouTube ever became successful for me so that I could literally make my living by making videos, I would do some epic drives. And I'll tell you some drives that I would do. The first drive that I would do, if YouTube worked out for me, if I had a Sean style breakthrough, then the first, well, you all know the first drive I'd do. The first drive I'd do would be the road trip to San Sebastian, and I would finally get to do the one and only thing on my bucket list, which is to scatter my mother's ashes. And I've told you many, many times before, you all know that we used to go on an annual road trip to San Sebastian, which is in the Basque Country, for those who don't know. And we would drive down the never eat shredded wheat western coast of France, stopping in our favourite places. Quite a leisurely drive. We'd only cover maybe 150, 200 miles a day, doing it really quite leisurely. And then we'd have a minimum of 4 days in San Sebastian. Minimum 3 days, often more, but absolute minimum of 3 days, depending on how much time we had to spend. And then I would drive back through mid France again via our favourite places. Oh, found some. Because we did it regularly, we found some gorgeous places. We used to do that in September. And as you know, the Hotel Monte Gueldo in San Sebastian is my favourite hotel in the world. It's not the best I've stayed in. That would be... Oh, good question. Probably Dubai. Possibly, I don't know. It's I mean, I love the Bellagio in Vegas, but is that the best, or is it just the best in Vegas? Could you genuinely say that that was better than the Hilton on the beach in Dubai? I'm not sure that you could. But anyway, Monte Gueldo, it's not the best hotel in the world. It's part of the what's it chain? The Accor. It's part of the Accor chain. So in that you've got the Etap, which is the real bargain basement. That's more like a youth hostel than a hotel. Then you've got the Ibis. Then you've got the Mercure, and you've got various others. And it's part of that chain. But it wasn't built as part of that. What is now the Hotel Monte Gueldo was originally a kind of stately home, except it's on the top of a kind of mountain hill cliff thing, overlooking the Bay of San Sebastian. The most amazing, stunning views. It's very historic, and it's part of a Parc des National. What do the Spanish call it? Oh, I can't remember exactly what the Attraccione. And so, yeah, it's not the best. It's not the most expensive, although it's pretty close. It's not cheap, to be fair. It's not the most romantic. That would actually be Lake Verney. Lake Verney Hotel and Spa is the most romantic hotel in the world, in my book. Tell me if you disagree or would like to nominate something else. It's not the... oh, God. I'm trying to think what the Dolmen is, but I'll leave the Dolmen out because the Dolmen doesn't exist anymore. The Dolmen is where I stayed when I spent all of that time in Malta. It was always my place to go. They used to really look after me there. They were wonderful, but they sold out to Hilton. But anyway, the point is that Hotel Monte Gueldo, despite not being the best in any particular category, is very, very definitely my favorite hotel in the world for many reasons. If you were to go there, you would understand, although it's a while since I've been. So, yeah, so that would be, if I got money again, that would be the first road trip. And that would be amazing. The second road trip, and I so want to do this, driving to Malta. Again, I've spoken about this before. I've never done it. A friend of mine did, the lovely Mary, when she followed me out to Malta. Well, actually, she did. God, it was kind of coincidence, wasn't it? When I first started spending all that time in Malta, which started, I've never been to Malta until I was 40. For my 40th birthday, the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty took me out there for a week. she wanted to take me somewhere I'd never been before, and she picked on Malta, and it was an inspired choice. She'd never been there either, and it was an inspired choice because we both just fell in love with the place, and we started going very regularly between January. We used to probably go 3 or 4 times a year. We'd go like January, March, and May. We never went after May, got too hot and a bit too expensive. And then, of course, after the old divorce, I started going out there every month, didn't I? But yeah, my friends Mary and Julian, I think it was coincidence that they were separated, and Julian went out to Malta for whatever reason, and Mary just kind of just went after him, and they decided to try again, but in Malta, and they opened an amazing little place called the Whole Hog and they chose the village where I stayed. It's a place called Aura in St. Paul's Bay on the west coast of the island of Malta. And they opened this little place called Whole Hog, and it was amazing. It was like Cheers. It was, what would you call it? It was like a cafe bar, bistro kind of thing. And they served British food, and it was like Cheers. People just hung out there, especially the expats. And when me and Franny, you'll meet Franny one of these days. When me and Fran used to be out there all the time, and Franny is like best mates with Mary. We all met, by the way, that group. They were all my Scrabble community. Like I told you last night or the night before, I ran an international Scrabble league, and these were people that I met through the Scrabble league online, and then it turned into a real life thing. But oh God, the nights that we had in the Whole Hog, and they had a really thriving little business until the bloody Malta Tourist Board started granting all-inclusive licenses to all of the resort hotels in the area, and it killed all of the local businesses. They all literally, almost overnight, it killed all of those thriving small local businesses. Great shame. And suddenly, the streets that were busy all day, every day, started becoming sort of deserted because everybody's booking the all-inclusive deals at the hotel. And that means that they stay within the hotel for the free drink, and they have breakfast, lunch, dinner, all of their drinks there, and they're not using any of the local amenities. Great for the hotels, but ruined the locality. Really short-sighted. Really short-sighted it was, and it did the areas no good at all because local businesses were failing. Then everything just went downhill. The areas just went to pot. The hotels were okay, but because there was no money flowing around, then everything became a little bit broken down. So the villages in which the hotels were based became like shanty towns and started getting all sorts of undesirables in there. I'll be honest with you. If I started going back to Malta now, I wouldn't stay in Aura. Julian and Mary, they lived in Aura as well as having their business there. But after this happened, they moved to Melilla, further up the coast, which is more unspoilt and lovely. And I would stay there now, or I wouldn't stay in Malta at all, and I'd stay in Gozo. I'd stay in St Patrick's Hotel in Shalendi Bay in Gozo. But yeah, it ruined their business, sadly. And we came that close to a major change in my life. Uh, I came up with a business model that I was pretty convinced would work for the whole hog, and Fran was equally convinced that it would work. And we put a deal together with Mary and Julian to buy them out. Um, and Fran would have been a sleeping partner, and I was moving out. I don't think I've ever told you this. And I was moving out to Malta and I would run it. We had we had a quote and a potential deal with a local building firm, and they were going to convert all of the back of the hog that was just being totally unused. They were going to convert that into living accommodation, so I would have lived kind of behind the premises. Oh, it would have been a dream. And I had this business model that, and to this day, I would put my life on the fact that it would work. It would definitely have worked 100%. I'm sure of it, despite the all-inclusive thing. It worked around that, and it took advantage of the fact that everybody else in the locale had failed, and um, well, not everybody else, but all of the places that were designed to appeal only to tourists. Now, my best friend in Malta, Lucy, now she's in Ara, and amongst her multiple business interests, she's got a fantastic Chinese restaurant there called Peking. And that went on, that continued to be as thriving and successful as it always was because it had local custom. It was only the places that were designed purely to appeal to tourists that died on its ass. And bear in mind that, you know, I was like an accepted member of the local community, and I would have made the hog work. I would have totally made it work. And we had the deal, the money was there, everything was in place. And my dad started taking a turn for the worse. Um, not, you know, not physically, or he just, and looking back, it's probably because I was moving there. And you know, it was all arranged. I'd said my goodbyes to everybody. It was all sorted, all arranged. And, you know, I would have been coming back very regularly to see dad and whatnot. But looking back now, I think that he just decided to overnight become so helpless and so reliant on me that there was absolutely no way that I could go. And that's what happened. You know, suddenly he just became unable to do this, unable to do that, needed me at least once a week. And in all conscience, I had to call it off. I couldn't do it. Yeah, shame that. Real shame that. And there's no happy ending to that story, I'm afraid. The business, it didn't even get sold. Everything just got bloody repossessed, basically. It was a midnight flip job. And things went all right for a while for Mary and Julian. They both started working for HSBC, which has a massive call center on the island. And if you're fluent in English and one or two other languages, as they both were, then you could earn big money. You would be hired like that, literally. You'd go in at 8:30 in the morning for an interview, and you'd start work at 9 o'clock, and they paid really well. So they did great for a while, and they moved into a much nicer place. Um, uh, Me and Fran used to visit them. They were both doing really well at work, and then I had a falling out with Mary after. that was after me and Boo went out there and met up, and there was a bit of a falling out, which I never really understood, but I know that drink was involved, not on my side, and some inappropriate things were said and probably regretted. I didn't know she had a thing for me. I genuinely had no idea. And then, so after that, everything is kind of secondhand. Fran told me what happened. Julian had an affair. Mary got cancer, and there we are. Anyway, let's get back to some comments, shall we? It's a bit nippy, says Emma. It's bloody freezing. Hi, Boaty, says Chaz Brown. Saw your video early. How's the coolant level in the car set? It's grand. It's fine. I checked it before I went to work tonight, and it hadn't discernibly dropped, and everything looked dry. And the heat has been working fine all night. Temperature gauge has been fine. So obviously I'll check it again tomorrow. But hopefully, touch wood, all will be well, and I'll change it on Monday. See you later, says Steve Colg. All of my cats have taken over my hot water bottles, which is cool with me. Andrew Buttigieg joined us and greeted everybody by name. It's getting nipply and ripply, says Peter P. Tim Drive, says Barry Scrotter, has done a want. Seems like a groundbreaking post in the Rover world tonight. No idea what that's about. No, says Emma. I'm now under 2 duvets, but I'm cold, and she needs a nice warm cuddle. Form an orderly queue, gentlemen. Oh, Tom Drive's correction. Oh, right. Yeah, is it one of Tom Drive's normal posts? They're always the same. They're so formulaic. I find them really annoying. And he puts them in all the groups. That's why I left all of the groups apart from Mustard, because I was just fed up of seeing. I bet you I can say what the post was, because they're always the same. It'll be something like Rover did a blah, 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 blah. Did you know this? Or what do you think about this? Or what do you think of this? I made a video about it. Here's the link. And it would be in every single group that I was a member of. And I thought, I can't be doing with this. Can't be doing with this. So I left them all. I mean, he's a lovely guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a lovely guy. We did lunch with him in the caravan. But, those posts. Peter P is sending Emma a warm one. Oh, fab, says Emma. I will look forward to a Sunday lunch live. I'm looking forward to it as well. 69 is volunteering to give her Emma a warm cuddle. Let's just have a cuddle huddle, says Matron. Community snuggles en masse. Sunday lunch on the lost Fray Bentos pie. There will be no Fray Bentos pie tomorrow. Good morning, says Ross, Dino Dad. Yep, 10:30, still in bed, and I'm very happy about that. Mention cabbage and get a 30-minute monologue about foreskins, says Peter P. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, dear. Thank God, says Andrew. You lot take away my troubles with all the comments. Peter P, says Barry. I'm sorry I missed the one about foreskins. I hate French, says Matron, where things have to be sexed. Why? Why do objects have to be male or female? I await the etymology TED talk. I don't know is the honest answer to that, so you won't be getting that talk off me. Good evening all, says Tracy P. Cardiff. Maybe you should give them names, Boris and Benny, for example. And I think she's talking about buttocks there. Try German. Der, das, die, Matron. Hello, Matron. Me petite voiture, says Chaz Brown. Before I go, says Steve Hogg, the hedgehog's pregnant. Nothing to do with me. A prickly conundrum, says 69. Soon to be Christmas. Where's me turkey? Oh, Mr. Stephen Paddy live on the phone. Mr. Paddy, we know it's chips, it's chips. It is always chips, isn't it? It is always chips. Mr. Paddy sounds extremely perky, says Emma, clearly been podgering. Put Marty on his sound, says 69, the Risoner. And the Prisoner as well, actually. Bad Book says MX5 Club 40-mile scenic route from Kings Lynn to Downham Market today. 18 MX5s and a great dinner. Ribeye steak and all the trimmings. Not just some, all. Emma says, Andrew, you have bonking and wonking on the mind tonight. No peas, says Matron. Devil's kidney stones, but yum to the rest. And that's about the only place I've got it, Andrew, says Emma. I'm fed up of feeling constantly unsettled, says Barry. Well, what are you doing? What are you doing with it? Have you, again, back to the previous question, have you figured out a cause or causes? And what are you doing to mitigate them or work around them? I mean, with so many of these things, then honest appraisal and understanding is the starting point. And in my experience, there has to be a massive element of personal acceptance. You have to look at yourself very, very honestly and say, right, whatever the situation is, how much am I responsible for it? And you have to accept your role in it very honestly before you can start working around it. Because as long as you do the normal human thing of blaming other people or other circumstances and not looking at your own involvement, then you're never going to get anywhere. And equally, if you, and this happens so much with so many people, not only does the fault lie elsewhere, but the responsibility for potential improvement lies elsewhere. So if somebody else did this, if somebody else got into a relationship with me, if somebody else did this, if somebody else did that, if life did this, yeah, well, you can't control somebody else. You can't control life, but you can and must control yourself. So that's where, in my experience, that's where everything starts. And you'll probably find out it finishes there as well, because at the end of the day, the thing that is you, the only thing that can possibly take responsibility for you and your emotional well-being and happiness and whatnot is you. Nobody else can do it. And that's kind of a hard lesson to learn, or it was for me anyway. Peas are horrible, says Tracy P, but sprouts are lovely. Did Mustard do a live earlier, says Andrew. I think all of us singles should get together for a mass community orgy, says Emma. Yeah, well, Emma's completely rampant tonight, says Matron. I'll hold the coats or provide half-time beverages and sandwiches or something like that. I'm not joining in. But you lot, go for it. I might have an Airbnb to rent where you can do it shortly, hopefully. Rover 25 is a damn fine driving car. I agree with that. Barry says, I'm ready for a motorbike, I think. Skick says, I watched your video. I love to see you cook and fiddle with cars. Touch of ASMR, whatever that is. Just as I thought, says Barry, emotions are pointless. Well, they're seldom pointless. It's the freedom. I'm talking about motorbikes. It's the freedom and getting out and getting the wind in your face that blows the cobwebs out of the brain, etc., that I love about biking. My day, says Andrew, has been a pain. Spent most of the night with my face in the porcelain throne, and received a phone call from Mum's care home. She has the bloody COVID again. Next 5 days in isolation. Oh no! Sorry to hear that. Oh God, what are we doing now? Christmas songs, wonking around the Christmas tree, fairy tale of new pork. Bloody hell! You can tell that Emma's on her monthly Dewberry Firkin. I'm sure it's not the same for every woman, but I know a lot of women, in my experience, get awfully horny during the old monthly headache. Boo was terrible for that. I mean, Boo was bad enough at the best of times, but at that time, dear God. Kind of a cruel irony that that one should feel so inclined in that direction when, in theory, it's off limits. But there are always ways about these things, darlings, ways around them, as I'm sure you know. Fairy Tale of New York and A Winter's Tale, says Tracy P. Cardiff, and presumably those are the favourite Christmas songs. Oh, is that what we're doing now? Favourite Christmas songs. Fun Stuff 24 says, good evening. I have two fave Christmas songs, says Barry. Only if anybody's going to say mine. Right, keep doing the favourite Christmas songs, and I'll tell you if there's a snap, if anybody's favourite is the same as mine. I've got a very, 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 very definite favourite. As I said, one of my favourite songs in the world, not just Christmas song. I have two faves, says Barry. One being the Bob Geldof song, because I bought it in 1985 or 6. And the other by Emerson, Lake and Parker, but it doesn't tell us what they are. Christmas is a real fuss over nothing, says 69. Car bras are pointless, says Peter P. I totally agree. I love Christmas, says Emma. Okay, bacon is in the air fryer, says Ross. Bacon butty breakfast approaching. Oh. I'm in two minds whether or not I'm indecisive, says Ian. My conclusion, says 69, is life is a weird dream and therefore to be endured. Yeah, but in a dream, you are controlled by your subconscious. In life, whether it's a dream or not, you are in control unless you're asleep. So take advantage of that and take control. You know what I mean? That's quite an important thing to remember, is that you are in control. So even if you think you're not in control, you actually are or can be. So if you're homeless, you can still decide where you are homeless. So if you were in Scunthorpe, pick somewhere at random, and you became homeless in Scunthorpe, there would be nothing stopping you going to be homeless in Llandudno by the sea if you wanted to. There's still an element of control that you can take. And I would argue that we must all take an element of control over ourselves. Simone joined us and said, hey, we've got a voice note, darlings. That's exciting, isn't it? Where is it? Here we are.
Well, hello, Bertie. I thought I'd interrupt your live stream straight away because basically, I've been busy editing an video or editing a video, whichever one you prefer. And it's all about the Land Rover that you used to own. Hi.
Was that it? Oh, okay. Evening, Mustard. Oh, so happy editing, my dear chap. I enjoyed my editing today. I put some extra little bits and pieces in today's video. I wonder if anybody noticed them, and I really enjoyed doing that. And I've got some, and that's motivated me to change the way that I film things. But more on that later. But I really did enjoy today's edit. And no editing tomorrow. I've got an editing free day tomorrow and on Monday. There will be no more editing until Tuesday. How exciting is that? So much I could say, says Barry, but it's all pointless, I guess. Well, I don't know. Say it, and then then you or we or whatever can decide whether it's pointless or not. Basque Country, says Andrew. Yeah, absolutely. I will say this, though, says Barry. All I've ever wanted to feel in life is loved. I think a lot of people would express the same sentiment. But as with so many things in life, sometimes you need a bit of luck. But as people have said, the harder you work, the luckier you get. So if you want to be loved in life, then work hard to make that door open. Work hard to make yourself lovable. Don't just, don't think, I wish I could have a steak. Go out and buy a steak. And if you can't afford to buy a steak, then go out and find a way to earn money so that you can buy a steak, or at least try to, even if it's not possible. And if you want to be loved, then work hard to just leave that door open. You're still going to need a bit of love, but at least make it possible by working hard to make yourself as lovable as possible. And also at the same time, work hard to be happy, to be as happy as you can without being loved. Because why would you not do that? A life of discontent is a life not well spent. Another voice note for you, darlings, and a voice that you will immediately recognize.
Hello, Boaty. It's Captain Horseradish here. I thought as Captain Mustard came and interrupted your live stream, I'd do it in the same vein. Are you ready?
Yes. Big lungs.
I hope you enjoyed that. Cheerio.
I love Captain Horseradish. I still think that, we need more horseradish in our lives. Captain Horseradish is like Captain Mustard on his best day. I would like to do a lunch video with Captain Horseradish. Or take Captain Horseradish to, oh God, can you imagine taking Captain Horseradish to Gulliver's Kingdom or to a restaurant or something? I'd love that. Oh God. Oh, I do love Captain Horseradish. What are we talking about now? T-Rex. Back in the 80s, my dad's mate Anthony became Nina, and she introduced me to all the T-Rex albums. Oh, there we are. Emma, to quote Elton John, I'm a dark diamond. And that's from Barry. The Mac Master channel is fun for hotel and travel reviews, says Ross. The Mac Master is a bit hyper, says 69. And Simone agrees with that, and he talks too much. Does well, though, doesn't he? I'm amazed at the success of all of these takeaway review things and rate my takeaway and all of that. I mean, you can't knock them. They're really, really successful. They earn amazing money. Gary Eats, that's another one. And yet there's nothing to it. Absolutely nothing to it at all. They're not chefs. They're not food critics. They haven't got any genuine insight or anything. They just rock around largely dodgy eating places, fish and chip shops, stuff their faces with stuff, and tell you what they think of it. And fair play to them. It works. God knows I've tried to do it. I thought I could do that.
How about, chap? We have a Captain Horseradish and a Captain Mustard lunch video challenge. That would be quite good. Beat that, Emma.
Now that sounded like a really tricky bowel movement to me, but I'm up for the idea of a mustard v horseradish lunch challenge. We'll have to work out some kind of format for it. We're all like tunnels, says Ian. We go through darkness and eventually return to the light with faith and hope. Peace is in sight. That's rather profound. I hope I get to see my old school friends, says Simone, and I do too. Matron says, Barry, I'll say I find that giving love freely means I get love back. Not necessarily physical doings or even marriage love, but by giving it out, I'm open to welcoming it back. I completely agree with that. And that's something that I've experienced myself. If you go out there into the world and with no expectations, you just give love, time, kindness, interest to people, you tend to get it back. If you go out there and give the opposite of that, then you tend to get the opposite back. So yeah, I completely agree with Matron. If love is your aim, then learn how to give it before you expect it in return, and put the groundwork in to making yourself lovable. If you've not found love, look at yourself honestly, really, really honestly, and try and figure out why you're not finding the love that maybe other people do. And you might find that there is a reason. Right, here we go.
I'm really sorry, Boaty, but who does this Captain Mustard think he is? He thinks he can take me on with his funny noises. He's got another thing coming.
Right, that's it. The challenge is officially on. Battle of the Captains, Horseradish v Mustard. You thought Jake Paul v Mike Tyson was something? Nothing compared to this. I'll talk to my people at Netflix tomorrow, see what we can sort out. Life is short, says 69. Too bloody short. Too short. Paulie Galtieri is with us and says, evening, Boaty and everyone. I, says Andrew Buttigieg, must be the only person of Maltese descent that hasn't been to Malta / Gozo. I don't know if you're the only one, but you're probably in a minority. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Well, possibly, but we're not dogs, are we? The young lad is still in there somewhere, says Barry, who'd mentioned that he thought to himself earlier, remember that young lad you used to be? Well, we were all young once, weren't we? But, you know, you get older, life changes, things change. You have to, well, as Noel Gallagher will remind you, you've got to roll with it. Don't worry about it, Andrew says Ian. I'm part Irish, never done a river dance or had a pint of Guinness. We all have a child inside us, says Matron. That child wants to play, ask questions, and is curious. Never stop playing or finding wonder in things. I agree with that as well. Oh dear. Sorry, I had to have a little laugh with that one. Well done, Emma. Oh, I forgot. Snow is apparently on the way, says Simone. Yeah, I know it's on the way for me as well. Indeed, Matron. Well said. Time's marching on, darling, so I'm flicking through these a little bit, but here we go. Here comes the riposte.
Goodness me. She just fucked off halfway through making a noise there. No real commitment whatsoever. That is not going to be difficult to beat. Emma, I throw my glove down and my pint of piss. Enjoy the challenge that you are going to be faced with.
Right, there we are. The ball is in your court, M11. Right, while I'm up, let's pound the box because time once again has beaten us. There's another quid in there towards the January birthday Llandudno Grand Hotel shenanigans. I'm so looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to the Snowdonia things. I just don't know where they're going to start. I'm struggling at the moment. It's the bloody gas meter in there, darlings. It's, oh dear. I need the Airbnb to kick in. I need my earnings to just increase a bit. Oh God, here we go. Oh, what happened there?
I'm sorry, Captain Mustard, but the reason I had to fuck off halfway through making a noise was because I was about to piss myself. And I thought, probably shouldn't be doing that on a live stream, even though I'm not on the screen. You know, nobody needs that. But if you want a noise, here's one for you.
Does anybody else get the feeling that the next few live streams could become really rather interesting? Oh dear. Oh, and I second Matron. Sorry, I flicked through the comments, but I second the congratulations to 69 for re-hooking up with their dad and their sister. Life is short, says Emma. If you're unhappy with how things are, take steps to make changes. Yeah, absolutely. It's the only way. A nice girl to cuddle could change things, say 69. Well, engage the services of a prostitute and see if that helps. Heated seats weather for sure, says Paulie. Oh, the Ken Joji is with us. Good evening to you. One of my things is wanting to walk up Snowdon, says Barry. I guess I need to be single-minded in what I want to do. Well, walking up Snowdon isn't a problem. It's very enjoyable. I've done it. Yvette has done it. Neil has done it. Loads of people have done it. It's not a difficult walk, not by any manner of means. And there are several approaches. Some are more difficult than others, but you would be able to walk up Snowdon. It wouldn't be a problem. Just make it happen. Arrange it. As Emma says, go do it, Barry. And as Matron says, that's a wonderful ambition, Barry. Go for it. I find that laughter is a great medicine, says Ian to Barry. As someone with their own health problems, it's helped me and it sends out good vibrations and lifts your mood. And I would agree with that as well. Hello again, says the Ken Joji. I see some new people here, indeed. Fro Bentos a crap now, says 69. At the end of the day, I spend my week at work. I think positive, and every weekend it's the same thing. Oh, well, life goes on. I've got some thinking and some assertive actions that need to take place. Good luck. Good luck. All power to you. Is the hedgehog male or female? It has never been disclosed, says Diane. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I've got 3 Frey Bentos pies in the emergency cupboard, says Andrew. Hope they're still good. I haven't got any. I had emergencies. I had to eat them. No more Frey Bentos from me, says Emma. Yeah, probably me neither, because they tend to be. No, I should have one emergency, so I mustn't eat them for lunch anymore, though. That was a mistake. Diddly-doo. I find taking happiness from the little things in life is a good start, says Emma. Losing almost everything made me that way. The only way was up after that. So many people agree with that, me included. I was talking about it to Paul and his brother-in-law and their friend at the restaurant tonight. That, we were talking about how the negative things always outweigh the positive things. They always have much more weight, One bad TripAdvisor review does more damage than the good that 1,000 good ones do. Bad news travels faster than good news, all of that sort of thing. So when it comes to your own emotional balance, the negative things you're going to focus on. So you have to force yourself to focus on the positive things and take those little joys in order to just help yourself survive. What have I got now?
I am very, very sorry, but this Captain Horseradish man seems to be trying to ruin my life, my reputation, and my bowel movements. I don't want to hear your noises. They're disgusting. Just like your elbows. Now, please, remove yourself from my eyeballs. Now.
There we are. Community orgies with nibbles, says Paulie Galtieri. You don't get that with a Hubnut subscription. No, you don't. Mustard says hello. Andrew says, so did Chinese Madam have the monthly headache every flipping day, Boaty? Chinese Madam had a discovery, is what she had. Right. What you've got to bear in mind with Chinese Madam, and you'll forgive me for talking about, private things again, is that Chinese madam had a marriage where she and her husband had one night together. It was her first time. She didn't enjoy it, so she left the next day, but did get pregnant. And then with me, she discovered that for a lady, sex can actually be a rather enjoyable thing. Now, factor in that she had a lot of ground to make up on. Factor in she was like a kid in with a new toy because she hadn't had that thing before, and factor in that she was in her 30s, so she was approaching her prime. So of course she was going to be absolutely rampant, wasn't she? It was, yeah. So effectively, yeah, she did. Nobody dares to play Gary Glitter, says Paulie Galtieri, and that's for a good reason, because he's not a good person.
Okay, I've got one more noise for you tonight before I fuck off. This one's been requested by the matron, so it's gonna be a good one. Are you ready? Thank you and good night.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And good night to you, Captain Horseradish. Right, I tell you what, I'm going to call it a day or a night. I'll just whisper in the comments in case there's something absolutely pivotal there that I'm It is a captain off. It is indeed. The title has to be something like Captain Off or Horseradish versus Mustard. Oh dear. Right, you guys are talking amongst yourself in the comments, so that's all good. You don't need me weighing in. There's a lot of sense being talked, and God, is it 50 quid? Blimey. Right, it's 1:45, darlings. I'm going to sod off. I'm sorry for neglecting some of the messages, but we can pick them up tomorrow. We've got an earlier live stream tomorrow night, and we've got the Sunday lunch live. I do apologise, but it's 1:45 in the morning. Oh dear. But right, got so many of you. A really well attended live stream tonight. Thank you so much. And at the worst time, I'm so grateful to you all. Let's there's always a live stream the next day. So if we run out of time for comments or a discussion on a certain topic or advising or commiserating with somebody, don't think that that's it. Close book, end of story. We'll just pick it up tomorrow. It's not a problem. It's just a pause. Okay. So yeah, because I need to shut off. I need a shower. I need some curry. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday lunch live tomorrow, darlings. So let me just wish you all a safe and peaceful night, and hopefully a good Sunday ahead. If you can take a bit of joy from it, please do. Anyhow, anywhere, make the effort to take joy. Look after yourselves, look after those who love you or who you love, and well, the candle will be relit tomorrow night, earlier, 11 o'clock, Sunday Night Live. But I will be here for Sunday lunch tomorrow. 12 or 12:30. Haven't decided yet. One of the two. Maybe 12. Let's start early, shall we? And then you can just join in whenever you want. Anyway, either way, much love from me, and I can't wait to see you next time. So, on that note, pachoo, and indeed, go to church in the morning, or mosque, or temple, or the bingo parlour, or the bacon butty shop, or whatever floats your boat, and bosh.